Hello everyone, my name is Rebecca and welcome back to my Pixel Quest. In particular, we are playing Ace Attorney Investigations, a totally blind playthrough of this game for the first time, despite the fact that I love the Ace Attorney game series in general. First time ever to play this, and we're getting kind of further introduced at this stage in this third case to this interesting dynamic of using a kind of a holographic projection of different scenes in the case, and this one is the what we're being led to believe, and what I think is the actual murder scene. So we're being asked to deduce something, but I think it's all going to be about the hand that is holding the weapon. I mean, it's not necessarily the murder weapon, but probably not the murder weapon, but it's the hand. Yeah, it's definitely not the murder weapon because the murder weapon was a gun. But it's the hand that was used to strike the back of Edgeworth's head, where he was hit on the right side. So, and I'm sure that that's going to be the point at which we kind of reason that it actually couldn't have been this badger, because this badger needs to be able to use his right hand, and the right hand has a gun attached to it. But either way, I just want to look around a little bit first. So let's click on some stuff. It me. I have to say it's rather embarrassing to see myself like this. Aw, Edgeworth. Oh, so what were you thinking about at the time? I don't recall, but I would guess that I was thinking about the kidnapping. Really? Because I don't think so at all. Your face practically screams, I'm about to be conked over the head. Yeah, but this is just a projection of his face. It's not... it's not the real... It's not a moment captured in time. It's just... You've just inputted him. If I had known that at the time, do you think I would have let myself be hit? Can we... Is there anything else in the environment that we can... So that's Edgeworth done. You know, the bad badger is pretty bad looking when you see him up close. Do you mean bad looking or just bad looking? Well, what did you expect from a character named the Bad Badger? And those sunglasses, wearing them in the dark makes him seem extra bad. Now I'm lost. Which meaning of bad does she really mean? Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking. And in the next instant, this badger will swing his left arm, complete with weapon in hand. Yes, to club me with the left side of the prop sword. Shall I recreate the moment of impact? I want to see the pained expression on your face. It's just fine the way it is. Wait, maybe not. Is it just my imagination, or is something not quite right? Yes, we should do that probably. Alright, well, no. Oh yeah, that's exactly what I meant to do. Thought I pressed the wrong button. I pressed the correct button. Is this spot somehow connected to the evidence? It is... This one? Eureka! Finally! I've found a clear contradiction of facts about this sword. Except for a bit on the left side, this prop sword is absolutely spotless. However, if the culprit had used his left hand, the blood would be on the opposite side. The opposite side? Huh? If the culprit held the sword in his left hand, then the sword's right side would hit. I see. But the blood was on the left side of the sword, right? Which means that he used his right hand to hit you. Exactly. This prop sword has a large hand guard attached to the hilt. It would be impossible to hold it with two hands while wearing a costume with such big hands. Oh, right, with two hands. Right. I was like, but he was definitely wearing a costume. Therefore, if it couldn't be the left hand or both hands, it must have been the right. I'll change the data to reflect the right-handed swing. How are you going to do that, Kay? Not yet, Kay. There's no sense in changing anything yet. Yeah, I was like, how is she going to make this work? If you change the parameters to the right hand, it'd only create a new contradiction. Changing the prop sword to be in the culprit's right hand would conflict with what? Dun dun dun. But no, do we use the missing? Do we... I'm not sure if we present this one, but this is specifically the missing model gun. And I guess what we're saying specifically is that this is not the missing gun. Do we present this? The bad badger already holds a gun in his right hand, so he can't hold a sword in addition. Hey, that's right. Then what now? If it wasn't in his left hand or his right hand, it means that the one who struck me could not have been the bad badger. Are you paying attention, Lance? Mr. Deacon could not have been the one who struck me, which leaves only you as our primary suspect for the time being. Fine, it was me. I hit you. It appears that you lied to me yet again, but see how quickly they catch up to you, Lance. Wait, isn't Lance left-handed? Ah, yes, but that's what makes this deception all the more interesting. He used his right hand to make it look like Mr. Deacon had been the one to strike me. I kind of feel like we're playing around with the, which bits of fact and logic, we want to take on board and which one we don't here. Like, we've previously said that somebody was right or left-handed as a piece of evidence for why something could or could not be true. And now we're just going, oh, even though that person is right or left-handed, it doesn't matter because a person could just change hands in order to to present the appearance of a different reality. So, you know what I mean? I feel like we're kind of flip-flopping on what credence we give to certain facts here. For you see, firing a gun with one's non-dominant hand is difficult. Oh, here comes the explanation for exactly what I just said. Firing a gun in one's non-dominant hand is difficult. Well, it's a bit of an assumption that it's difficult. Some people are ambidextrous, and some people are just somewhere in between. Some people would have more capability to do one than the other. And to be honest, shooting someone at point blank range, or even from fairly close by, even in that stage scenario, they weren't that far away, probably very manageable, right? You just have to point and click, point and pull the trigger. Like, it's not like shooting someone from a distance, which, yes, much more difficult. Not that I know, I've never fired a gun in my life, but it's plausible. It's plausible. But that level of dexterity isn't required to swing a prop sword. Okay, all right. I kind of disagree with this one as well. Sure, I think to a certain degree, yes, you're just like throwing something and trying to hit something else. But, and again, I've never done this. I've never hit anybody over the head in any serious way, much less than to try and knock them out. But I can imagine because I'm left-handed, I'm literally like sitting here with my right hand up in the air right now, like doing the motion. To actually hit someone effectively, I don't know that it's just a simple matter. You know what I mean? I don't know if my arm feels capable of really doing this, and I certainly don't have much trust in it. So I would probably prefer to actually try shooting someone at, I wouldn't want to do any of this anyway, but if it was a choice between the two, in terms of effectiveness, I would actually probably more trust to shoot someone in my non-dominant hand from short range than actually try to knock them out with a sword. I think that's harder. But anyway, he doesn't think so. Okay, please input this new data. The one who hit me from behind was Lance. Or should I say, the proto-badger. You got it. Here I go. Alright, accurate. Now, we have a faithful recreation of the situation around the attack on me. Alright, all we have to do is examine this new recreation and... And what exactly is so funny, Agent Lang? That amusing little gadget, it sure packs a punch, right, Shiner? Yes, it was all I could do to hold my laughter in. Oh, everyone's a bit sassy now. Hey, don't make fun of little thief, you mean old werewolf. He and Mr. Edgeworth bringing out the best in each other. Oh, he and Mr. Edgeworth bring out the best in each other. You've had your little fun, but now it's my turn. I've sat quietly by listening, but the crude conclusions you two keep spewing don't whet this wolf's appetite. There is no guarantee that your toy will always show the real situation at any given time. All it displays is whatever information you put in there, right? This is so true. Well, when you put it that way. Your suppositions are wrong. It's not your fault, so I'm going to let you in on this. There is a trick to this haunted house. Heh heh. That's what I thought. And what may that be exactly? A trick beyond what your tiny imaginations can produce. Shiner. You're saying that we can't... I'm sure it's going to be a hidden tunnel. Like... Of course it is, because these things always have that built into them anyway, right? Because it's how the staff can kind of manipulate things behind the scenes. Now then, what you missed, girlie, is written right here in this pamphlet. Oh, I want to see before he shows. Alright, so we're looking at the haunted house. Not really, I assume it's the big castle-y bit, right? Or is it? I mean, there's several buildings here. There's even that whole kind of front building. Like, is it the kind of the big tall castle at the back, or is it like the sort of the more I don't know, the kind of housey house bit at the front. And then there's even a kind of another kind of, I don't have architect knowledge. There's a house, there's a castle house, and then another house. There's 3 structures here at least. And then there's what seems to be a big shed around the side with a bat on it. The bat cave. That is kind of bat cavey, isn't it? And then there's even a little corner structure of some kind. Right. Oh, it's written here. It's right. It's not on the map. All right. So, the 7 wonders of the haunted house. Gatewaterland is full of mystery. See if you can find and experience them all. The disappearing badger. The 7 wonders of the haunted house. The disappearing badger. What is this? I'd say that someone around here is fond of theatrics. And as you can see, they set a doll down at the end of this hallway for that purpose. Basically, the blue badger you saw was just a stupid doll. How can this be? Guess that throws your whole theory about it being your attacker right out the window. I mean, I did always doubt that, I gotta say. Okay, so now we get the map and this. Seeing is believing. What's this over the side? The bad something. It's do or die time for Ken the Blue Badger and something. Arrest the bad badger something. Gatewaterland. You come and watch. Ever wanted ever. Oop, back. But that can't be right. Maybe the culprit hid the doll somewhere. And then he laid down and pretended to be it instead. If the criminal couldn't even hide himself in the hallway, how could he hide a giant doll? I still wonder if the secret hallway thing is going to come up. Do you get it now? Thanks to your presumptions, your logic started off weak and led you to the completely wrong conclusion. Now get off your high horse. Mr. Edgeworth. Kay, I wonder if you could please input the new information for me. You don't know when to quit, do you? I can't quit, not until I can declare that I've found the truth. Agent Lang, for the additional information you have my thanks. Shh, there you go again. Well, see if I care. What a funny response. Okay, I'm updating the recreation now. Yeah, that's see, that looks really weird. Just let me... Yeah, so exactly. This is the blue badger. And that's what I thought, that the blue badger, it's, you know, the one that we saw in the background there seemed to have a little badge, not a badge, like a kind of a belt. I don't know what you call it, like a gun holster. I don't know what it's meant to be. Like a kind of belt across the chest. Look at how it changes from the blue badger into the proto badger all of a sudden. If the slumped over badger was just a doll, where was my attacker hider? Attacker hider. Where was my attacker hiding? Well, that's what we're going to find out, right? So come on, Mr. Edgeworth, let's go. Yes, let's. This recreation can't be right, which means there must be a contradiction somewhere. Can I chat to some other people, though, before we find that? Miss Porps, by my hand, I will prove your innocence in the murder of Mr. Deacon. Therefore, please don't fret. It will soon be over. I don't know if Edgeworth should be saying stuff like that, necessarily, like, until we've actually found the truth of the matter. Do you not trust me? That is... Your face is all beet red, Miss Porps. No, I can't. I have Lance? Lance is trying to put you in jail, girl. Molly, don't tell me that you like that guy more than me. That's... Oh, why am I so pathetic? I'm so easily swayed by even a single glance. What exactly is she going on about? I think you have another guilty person on your hands, Mr. Edgeworth. Miles, my boy, what is the meaning of all this? Do you plan to pay me back for all I've done for you with the conviction of my son? I have not forgotten my debt to you. However, your son's crimes are a separate matter, as are your own. Further, I can't ignore the truth when it's right before me. You will regret this. I promise you that. I mean, that's a very evil villain thing to say. No matter the outcome, I never regret the choices I make. Good on you, Edgeworth. So, have you noticed anything worthwhile? I haven't really had a conversation with you at any point in this game. Hi, hello. I have no obligation to talk with you. Well, I'm fine with just little thief in solving this case. That toy, it's very well made. Haha, that's because it's the heart of the noble thief, Yatagarasu. Okay, that may not be something you want to advertise to everyone. So, Shina, what exactly is the source of this extra-dimensional, like, space? I believe this is nothing more than a projection from that girl's toy. So it's all an illusion, right? Yes. Hey, don't treat this like some sort of silly light show. Thanks for letting us use, Little Thief. That's so funny. Lungsi says, reject not those who seek the truth. So keep in mind that I'm not doing it for you. I'm doing this for the truth. Don't worry, I understand. We may have different methods, but our wish is the same. Gumshoe, how you going? I can't believe what I'm seeing, sir. I've just been standing here in the corner, quietly amazed. This space that I'm standing in, it's like out of some crazy dream. Except that this isn't a dream. This is something Kay's gadget. No, wait. This is exactly like a dream, sir. I've never been so impressed. It's a miracle. Someone sure is easily impressed. No, you're wrong, Edgeworth. This is like a miracle of technology. I mean, this is so far. This is ridiculously far beyond anything you should have. I'm glad you like it. Oh, so this is a product of your gadget. Now I wish I had one too. Well, once this is over, I'll let you play with it for a bit if you want. You do that for me, pal? Thanks. Alright, let's wrap this case up already. It's times like these that I wonder if they understand the seriousness of the situation. I'm kind of interested actually in what Shina said when she was commenting that this is very well made. And I'm kind of like, yeah, it is very well made, isn't it? Like, so I'm immediately thinking, what's the explanation for that? We don't know who Yatagarasu number 1 is or was. But again, my best guess is that it was her father or something like that. But either way, why do they have this technology? And my immediate thought is that perhaps actually they are somebody who is or was in Interpol or connected with Interpol. And maybe, maybe the thing that Shina is noticing is that, yeah, this is kind of Interpol level technology. Or maybe even technology that she totally knows about in her connections. This is probably where the thing is going to be. I suppose the other weird thing that we've got going on here is this has always been this crumpled knight armor. Pieces of a set of armor are in a pile here. Why do you think they almost always have sets of armor inside haunted houses? I suppose this sort of interior design is meant to bring out a sense of the abnormalcy. Why do all your explanations have to be so hard to understand, Mr. Edgeworth? Now try explaining it again, but this time so that even a thief like me can get it. That may prove to be a most difficult task. Snobby Edgeworth. Well, probably this mirror, I guess. But let's look at this one. When you take a look around, it almost feels more like a house of mirrors. Indeed, who has ever heard of this many mirrors inside a haunted house before? Well, at least we know this is the real crime scene, thanks to these mirror shards. Oh! I clicked that away too quickly. Hey, wait! These shards, there's something different about them. Oh? The ones we found earlier are thicker than the shards from these mirrors on this wall. The ones we found earlier are thicker than the shards from these mirrors on this wall. So, I mean, that's a good point, and they do actually have a green sheen to them, which is making me think that it's actually the, I'm sure it's going to be the lights here that have been damaged on purpose to make things darker than they would otherwise be, perhaps, potentially. But I also have to say, how does she know this? Because again, how do we have data on the thicknesses of the glass, you know, on the furniture details? This is in this holographic projection. And look, there's some sort of design on the back too. The pieces from that costume are certainly different from the other mirrors. What does this mean? Could it be that our pieces are not pieces of these mirrors? Very thick and has a design on the back. Yeah. So can we... I mean, this is the one that has shards underneath it for some reason. Why does... But we can't... We can't look at it. We can't look at that one in the middle. We can't look at this one. And that's counted as looking at a mirror. So window? I won't... Oh. Alright, we're looking at this. Okay. Can we look at the mirror as well? No, not the mirror, the window. We can't. This blue badger is just a doll for use in this haunted house. I bet the one who killed this blue badger was the bad badger, right? According to the Blue Badger Bible, it says that they are each other's worst enemy. All because one's an ally of justice and the other's a vile criminal with a gun? Perhaps they were just destined to battle each other. Much like the Steel Samurai and the Evil Magistrate. That's it. That's it. But why are we looking at this scene? Why do we have a whole scene here? Well, we do have the deduce button as well. We have the deduce button. So if we have the deduce button, I think we're meant to use it. And there is nothing else to look at. And also, do I have some... I've just got the mirror shards. Okay. What am I deducing? What am I deducing about the blue badger? What am I deducing? Alright, we've got names here in the description now. Oh, and what was it that changed... Not that one, was it this one? One at time of shooting, gunpowder burn is the proof he was shot from point blank. Different from the mirrors on the... I can't look at it. Different from the mirrors on the wall. Very thick and has a design on the back. And we got the updated... Well, I don't think there's any contradiction there per se. What was this again? I've totally forgotten. I'll take a picture. Okay. So, If the bad badger was Oliver Deacon, the blue badger was Lauren, but this also literally could be just a doll, right? Lauren says she was elsewhere in the park at this time. I can't think of anything else. Let me have a bit more of a look around, because maybe there's an extra bit of information we're meant to get. Let's look at this. This is where the proto-badger shows up in our recreation. Yes, now the question is, where did he come from? Yeah, but there's no place to hide in our current model. There must be an inconsistency somewhere. Oh. So you're going to give me some more information. We can't look at this. We can't look at these lights that have been smashed. We've talked to everyone. Oh, hang on. I can look at myself again. It's a replica of myself. You were totally oblivious to what was behind you, huh? Yes, I suppose I am also to blame for what happened to me. Something just occurred to me that I have forgotten about up until now, which is that I believe I can switch this game to, I can't remember what they were calling it, but kind of 8-bit mode. I think I can, because I was just wondering if I did that. I haven't tried it yet in the game up until now. If I did that, what would they change all the art style? Would every scene, like, is it just the characters that would change, or is it the whole scene? Because I was then thinking, would the Edgeworth that I'm facing still look like HD, or do they change the entire look of the game to be kind of 8-bit style? I'm curious to try that, but maybe I think I probably have to go back to the title screen to do that. Do I? That's it. Okay. Alright. Okay. Yes, I suppose I am also to blame for what happened to me. It was incredibly dark, which was all the more reason I should have been alert. There you go, it was very dark. I vow to never be caught by surprise again. Good luck. It's the proto-badger who struck me. I suppose I should really say that it is Lance. Ooh, are you going to get him back? I need not resort to violence when the lawsuit I plan to bring to court will suffice. Really? Because I would totally have decked him right back. If someone steals from me, I steal something from them. If I get hit, I hit them back. If I get paid, I return the money. That's the secret to how a great thief works. Her third statement doesn't seem to be of much benefit to her survival. Alright, and I think that's... Oh, Lance. You can lie all you want, but it will all be for naught, Lance. Oh, we're going for him, Edgeworth. As soon as I expose the truth, you will be placed under arrest. How can you do this? After all that my dad has done for you. What your father has done for me is unrelated to the charges you face now. Unbelievable. You know, you sound kind of like a bully right now, Mr. Edgeworth. If I'm not serious about this, he will never understand the true gravity of his crimes. See, Edgeworth gets it. It's probably that, you know, he's this rich boy, he's been given a lot of leniency through his life, you know, doesn't have a good understanding of consequences and meaning. I will not allow him to remain a child forever. But at the same time, we might also be like kind of letting him off the hook. Morally there, he might actually have a very, very good understanding, you know. I mean, he has at the very least here committed quite a serious, you know, like orchestrated a serious kidnapping here. He may have also orchestrated a serious murder. Haha, now you sound like a dad. Alright, okay, that's it. So The difficult position that puts me in is that I think the only thing I can do is this deduction. And I'm not sure what to do, and I've only got one chance at it before I get a game over. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious looking nook and cranny. So let's save. I think it'll just bring us back to where we were anyway if we get the game over. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. It's just, like nice to play the game and try and avoid that, right? This is it. Hang on, let's go back. What does it say about this again? The Blue Badger. Oh yeah. According to these, the ally of justice and the others a vile criminal with a gun. It's interesting that it gives us those pieces of information. I feel like I'm supposed to be taking something from them. What could I be taking from them? It's about his relationship with the bad badger. I mean, could it be that what we're saying is that the bad badger was in fact the one that was here? Oh, I absolutely didn't mean to. No, I just meant to read it. I pressed the wrong button. Well, maybe it's not in complete contradiction. Hold it, Mr. Edgeworth. Which is it? Is it a contradiction or not? It's not, Kay. No, I pressed the wrong button. No. I guess I've done it now. We'll see what happens. Oh, well, this is interesting. We'll see what happens. Look, we all know you're just chasing your delusions, so let's stop wasting time, all right? You want to suspect me, Mr. Edgeworth, but you have got a single shred of evidence. Yeah, I have at least a single shred. Now. I say we let the courts resolve the rest. The courts did a bad job. A few days later, Lance was acquitted of all charges due to lack of evidence. Oh, back to this again. Oh, it's actually nice to get a memory of this, because I still have no idea what this is going to be in relation to. M-E. E could be Edgeworth. What are these numbers? What is this? So curious. Thus the truth was lost for all eternity. For all eternity? Hang on. If I retry the current scene, am I going to have to start from the beginning? It's probably just easier to load a save, yeah? Because then I'm right there. It's doing a lot of loading. There we go. All right. Now, pressing the correct button here. All right. So don't press X. Press A. Well, let's just have a think. I mean, if I'm saying that this is from a window, no, this, hang on. I mean, what I'm thinking, just shifting my chair. What I'm thinking is, is it definitely this doll? Or could it potentially have been the Mr. Deacon Dead in the Bad Badger costume? No, I don't think so, because, I don't know. I think when we've seen it, in the actual scene at the beginning... No, actually I have no idea. I have no idea. I can't remember. But when we saw, and I'm doing quotation marks with my fingers here, when we saw it in the sort of the recreation... just before, it did have the little blue badger belt across the chest. But then again, that was, I don't know, that was just part of the recreation. Is that reality? I don't know. What I was briefly considering is if if the point is to prove that actually this is the bad badger, and if it was the bad badger, then it could have glass in the helmet from, not in the helmet, in the head. I don't know how though. How would it get in the head from this mirror being smashed, actually? I don't know why we can't look at the window. Did I say mirror? Window. But we can't even look at the window, so I don't know. Should we, is it just that we I mean, if this is a doll, it does say the 7 wonders of the haunted house. Like, what are the 7 wonders? What are the other ones? Okay. I don't know. I don't know what I'm supposed to be taking from this. Apart from the fact, the only thing is that it's a wonder. It's among 7 wonders of the haunted house. There's nothing else we can look at. It's just these. And it's disappearing. How is it disappearing? But that's not really a contradiction, is it? That's just a further mystery. Bad badger head. The different kinds of badges. The fact that the blue badger was Lauren. But then again, if this is a doll version of it, then, that doesn't really matter, does it? If we're not saying that this was the victim's costume, then this is irrelevant, this is irrelevant, this is irrelevant, this is irrelevant, this is irrelevant. The thing there's something that hasn't come up yet. And that's I don't think this is related to what I'm trying to think of now, but if I think about threads that are left hanging, one of them for me is that the bandage on Lauren's elbow hasn't come up yet. Oh, I just realized that because I loaded a save rather than retrying, I only have 1 try left on my little bar up there. So that's the disadvantage of what I did. Well, look, if we screw this first one up, if we screw this second one up rather, I'll retry in the scene then, just so I can try a few different things, because I don't know what to do. I don't know how the mirror has any real relation here. The thing I'm going to try is this, just because it's got the names on it. Eureka! Nope. Nope. Whoops. Alright. Let's skip through this again. We did bad. Everybody gets away. Alright, this time I've definitely got to retry the whole scene so that we get that full bar back, so that I've got the room to make some more mistakes. Dun, dun, dun. Can't wait to find out what this is. Probably in the next case. That's my guess. Okay, retry. Retry the current scene, yes. Oh good, there. So it just brings us back there. There is something wrong with this scene. That much I know for sure. How does Edgeworth know this for sure and I don't know? Or maybe it's just a trick of the eye. A trick of the eye? No, that can't be it. What is he talking about? What am I missing here? Am I literally missing? It's surely this. Is it to do with the color? No. Because this is all just a holographic recreation anyway, so why would that matter? There's definitely nothing else to click on. Oh man, I'm sure everyone is yelling at the screen. If it's something to do with how this looks, I don't know. I don't know. Hang on, let me, because they're giving us they're giving me several hints here. This blue badger is just a doll for use in this haunted house. I bet the one who killed this blue badger was the bad badger, right? According to the Blue Badger Bible, it says that they are each other's worst enemy. All because one's an ally of justice and the other is a vile criminal with a gun? Perhaps they were just destined to battle each other. It's funny that this is what Edgeworth is saying. What am I meant to be noticing about this? It just looks the same. Much like the Steel Samurai and the Evil Magistrate. It's funny that he's drawing on the Steel Samurai thing that he's a big fan of. Is the belt the wrong way around? The belt is the wrong way around. That was the whole thing I was talking about before. I noticed I noticed this detail like way back at the beginning of the scene, and I didn't think to check that again. But what about this one then? But it's correct according to this, yeah? So isn't that fine? Because it looks like the doll in the pamphlet. Eureka! Hold on a second here. There is something wrong with the blue badger. Yeah, but it's correct for the doll. Huh? Like what? The way the belt is on him is opposite of how it should be. Did you make a mistake? That can't be. I inputted the image data exactly as it is in the pamphlet. So then, why is the blue badger dressed up in reverse? It's just the way they made the doll? The blue badger in the pamphlet photo is in reverse to the regular blue badger. But why? There must be some sort of explanation. I mean, is it to do with the fact that there are... I mean, the thought that occurs to me, I'll say this out loud, is that the whole thing with this is that it's like it's a mysterious haunted mansion, and they've pointed out several times how it's a very Hall of Mirror-y kind of thing, and the whole thing with those things is meant to be that there's various kinds of mechanisms, whether it's just many mirrors or whether it's something else. There's some kind of mechanisms or element of visual deception going on, and so blue badger in reverse, mirror shards, yeah. And so hang on, if I come out of here and again look at this, like I was saying before, if we are in this front house, not the castle at the back and not the kind of the ghosty house at the back, if we're in this front part, then there are two parallel houses next to each other. So maybe what it means is that there is a mirror hallway. I don't know how it would work at all, especially since it hasn't shown up on the blueprints. That seems really weird. Blueprints are blueprints, you know. It's the blueprints are not meant to be. The blueprints are part of, you know, like the planning for the theme park and for safety and all of that sort of stuff. They're not part of the haunted house experience. Yeah, but maybe what is being suggested here is that there are mirror rooms, mirror hallways. So let's see what happens if we put these things together. It seems like a real stretch. Like a mirror house haunted house hybrid, this place is full of mirrors. Yeah, exactly. That's a big leap of logic, though, I've got to say. I mean, it's a creative leap of logic, but it is a big one. Okay, do you remember what I said earlier? What I said earlier about what? Oh, what you said earlier. About how this building might as well have been a house of mirrors. A house of mirrors? Oh, that would explain the reversed or mirrored image. Yes, this blue badger might be nothing more than the reflected image of a real one. Then, was the blue badger you saw just a reflection? You're suggesting that this is a reflection. But how does that work? Like, there would have to be a mirror here. Again, I'm trying to cast my mind back to the scene that we saw at the very beginning of the game where we saw Edgeworth get hit, but I just can't. I could literally like just go and look at the footage, but I don't know. I might as well just go with it. Then, was the blue badger you saw just a reflection? When I looked down this hall, I thought it was perfectly straight. However, but don't we have blueprints? This is the whole thing I was saying. Like, Gumshoe gave us blueprints to input, so that's why I was assuming that that this, that the spatial orientation of this room is correct. However, if there was a mirror, then it would actually form an L shape, right? Precisely. I was deceived. The hallway was almost pitch black, and there was a beam in the way that obstructed my view of the other hallway. Wait, but why build this place like that? It sounds pretty pointless to me. Okay, this house is just another attraction at an amusement park. Wake up! They created a mirror wall for a very specific purpose, one I can point out to you. This was the reason they built a mirror wall. What's this, yeah? As it's written in the pamphlet, the main draw of this attraction is the mystery of the disappearing badger. Or this is one of the seven things that are the main attractions? I don't know. You mean they built the mirror for that trick alone? No, this plus 6 others. But you said you saw the badger, so it was definitely still there. That was true at the time, however. Doing this allows someone to make the blue badger disappear in a flash. So I guess it depends on how this is organized. You know, like, is the mirror wall just a mirror that's stuck to a wall, or is it something that's designed to move? You know, given it's very, very reasonable that something with an attraction like this would actually have a mechanism like that. But given that the mystery seems to be about the lamps, I'm going to say it's dim the lamps. All they would have to do is dim the lamps. So that's how it's done. If it was completely dark in here, then you wouldn't be able to see the badger anymore. Yeah. Wait, hold on, that's completely pointless. Okay, this doesn't feel right. You wouldn't be able to see anything at all, not even where you were going. Is that necessarily... No, but... Guys, follow me here. What if one of the lamps was smashed? And so just the back part of the hallway went dim? I don't know. Is that necessarily a bad thing? Well, it is if it negates the point of the attraction. I'd better rethink this. Alright, fair enough. So... move the mirror wall? I mean, of course you could move the blue badger, but I don't know. To be honest, all of these seem equally plausible to me. To remove a reflected image, simply move the mirror. First, the mirror was constructed. Yeah, see, that's what I was saying. Like, if it's constructed in a certain way, of course you can do this. First, the mirror was constructed so that it could be moved. Then, beyond where the mirror was, an empty hallway had to be created. So when they wanted people to see the blue badger, they would open the mirror. And when they wanted to hide it, they simply had to close it again. We have a big mystery here, and it's the mystery of these freaking blueprints that Gumshoe gave to us. This explains why the other side of these fragments have a design on them. And if the pattern is the same as the other walls in this hallway, then when the mirror is closed, it would blend in with the rest of the walls. This is the mirror trick that this haunted house employs. I mean, this is obviously the kind of dynamic I was expecting since the very beginning of the game, where, you know, Edgeworth is in a setting like this. You always expect that there are hidden walls. And this also proves the existence of a hiding place for the culprit. Huh? How so? Think about it, Kay. There was a place that was outside of my field of vision. The culprit kept out of sight by hiding here. Here. Well, where do you mean? Do you mean initially? Here. Yeah. There was a very large blind spot, one I could not see beyond, and it was here. If my assailant hid on the other side of the movable mirror, then you wouldn't be able to see him. He didn't even need to do anything to the blue badger doll. Exactly, all he had to do was wait for me on the other side of the mirror. Wait, hold on. I just thought of something. Yes? Well, shouldn't the mirror wall be broken right now, in reality? Since we have a few shards of it, we can probably assume it is. So it's actually like kind of just a big sheet of glass? That sounds really dangerous. I was expecting it would still have wall on it, you know? Yes, it most definitely is broken. The question is, when was it broken? Since we found these inside the victim's costume, that would mean that the victim was there when the mirror was broken. And you would have to think when the costume was taken off the victim as well, because how did a bit of glass like get inside the head? Wait, that sound. Leave the money and go, now. Oh yeah, I totally forgot about that. That sound I heard was most definitely the sound of a mirror breaking. Okay, I'd like you to input some new information. Don't scare me like that. Sorry, but I need you to recreate something for me. Sure, whatever you need. So, what do you need anyway? If you could first recreate this hallway just before I entered the dining room. You got it. Now this, I believe this is how it was right before I entered the dining room. They haven't drawn any obvious lines that would represent the mirror itself here. Even those sort of lines from on the ceiling there don't match up, so it can't be that. Although at the time I thought it was but a single straight hallway. And then I went inside. It was around then that I heard the sound of a mirror shattering. You heard what? Then? Yes, I believe it was then that the mirror was broken. Okay, so then when you stepped outside into the hallway again, the mirror wall should no longer exist. Kay, please recreate that. Got it. Wait, but with the mirror gone, the culprit lost his hiding spot. So where did he go in his proto-badger suit, Mr. Edgeworth? That's easy enough. With the mirror gone, he simply hid himself in the branch hallway. I think this about wraps it up. Looks like we finally solved everything! No, not yet. An even larger contradiction has now reared its head. Perhaps you did not notice. So it's where Deacon in his bad badger costume got to, I suppose. But this recreation contains a very troubling inconsistency. The inconsistency between what I saw and the recreation lies... I don't know. This makes... Is it... I mean, the only thing I thought of is like where the bad badger / the dead body is, but obviously he could have killed them and dragged them here. So I don't know. Like there would be a smashed mirror here. That's kind of weird, but there's nothing really indicating it. Edgeworth came out here. This one was already hiding here. Came around the corner. Do I say this because is it to do with the fact that this should have been visible?
Take that!
Okay, take a good look at the end of the hall. Oh, there's no blue badger there. Exactly. The blue badger that I saw in reality was not in here. This is the final point on this long chain of logic. The last remaining contradiction. So let me get this straight. When you came out of the dining room, you saw a badger, right? And that is precisely where the final contradiction lies. Something that shouldn't exist was there before me. Who or what do you suppose it was? Well, now the dead body, except again, if it looked exactly like that, but are we going back to the fact that it could have been, I'm kind of still unsure of how the stage shooting like kind of where that fits into the timeline. You know, the one where it's a bad badger head, and I've kind of forgotten, but maybe it was the blue badger body. But maybe that's it. So I think what's being implied is that now, at this point, this is the dead body. Something that shouldn't exist was there before me. Who or what do you suppose it was? I believe this is the real identity of our mystery badger. Well, who do you want me to, like, which one of these do you want me to say? And also, if he were killed here, wouldn't we have heard a gunshot? Did we? I've completely forgotten what we heard. But according to the story that was just told, we just heard glass shattering. Surely we would have heard a shooting, even at point blank range into a costumed body. Especially since these don't seem to be particularly thick costumes, but even then I don't think that would make a difference. So what do you want me to... I can't do profiles, can I? Yeah, so you want me to... But even if he was killed here, again, I have to go back to the whole thing that I was saying, I don't know, last episode or the previous episode about we've still got the angle of the shot to deal with. And I don't know how that works here, unless it was that they were, it happened when they were fighting, you know, and so there was some kind of odd position where one of them was below the floor, or you know, sorry, I already jumped to a second thought. Like, it could have been that there's another trapdoor kind of element here. We've already established that the blueprints are nonsense. So if that's the case, then maybe there's also something underneath the floor here, and somebody could have been Mr. Amano, like underneath the floor, comes up, bam, bam, or bam, rather. But otherwise, it could be that, you know, one of them was on top of the other in a sort of a weird way and shot. Yeah. I mean, he was shot at point blank range. So a kind of a struggle seems to make sense in a way, but it does seem like the angle seems like a very odd thing to include if all you're going to say is that it was during a struggle. Seems like an odd inclusion in the game if that's the case. But I'm not sure. I think what they're saying is it's the bad badger and it was the dead body, but I'm not sure which one they want me to click on here. Because they're saying, I believe this is the real identity of our mystery badger. Do you mean the person or the badger?
Take that!
Should I do this? This is what I really saw at the scene of the crime. You mistook that for a badger? Oh, this is wrong. You disappoint me. We've worked so hard to get here. Don't get all weird on me now. Nah. The last contradiction. I believe this is the real identity of our mystery badger. This? Yeah. The badger I saw was, in actuality, the dead victim's body. Ark. What? Agent Lang, the entirety of my complete logic is my final, decisive piece of evidence. The murder happened in the hallway of the haunted house at the time of the drop-off. And you can consider the moment I heard the mirror breaking to be the real time of death for Mr. Deacon. No! Maybe it was due to their fighting, or perhaps it was the life-shattering bullet. But no matter what the cause was, the hallway mirror wall was broken. Ha! You were in the house at the time, right? Are you telling me that you missed the sound of a gunshot? This guy comes up with everything that I've been having a problem with. I really appreciate that. This is what a good combo between defense lawyer and prosecutor is ordinarily, and in this case, two different kinds of prosecution. There were a variety of sound effects playing at the time, all for theatrics, I assume. Oh, well, this is news to me. This is news to me. The gunshot must have blended right in. Are you... Couldn't I as the player have learned this earlier? You know? Like, couldn't you guys have thrown that into a piece of conversation at some point so that I could think, the gunshot sound probably isn't really an issue. Now then, I'd like you to recall something for me. Who was it that was written with the who was it that was with the victim at the haunted house? Who was the one who had the opportunity to rob the victim of his gun and use it on him? Yeah. This guy. It was you, Lanzamano. Oh. Big globby tears. I'm sorry. I don't think he meant to. But there goes my theory about it being the father. It's not like I had a choice. Oliver turned on me all of a sudden. He snapped and turned violent right after I hung up with you. He shoved me to the ground and straddled me. I fought back as hard as I could, grabbed his gun, and I shot him. I shot him with my arm, like way down at my hips, and I just weirdly angled my wrist upwards. And while he was kind of in a sort of a sitting position, which let's not think about too much, and then I shot him, which resulted in the bullet going up through the bottom of the body and out through the shoulder. That's where that whole angle thing was going. The bullet must have went through his body and shattered the mirror. If I hadn't taken his gun and shot him first, I would have been the one you found. He's a hardened criminal. He escaped from jail. See? That's justified self-defense. My boy was only trying to protect himself. That remains to be seen and will have to be resolved in court. Agent Lang, I leave the rest to you. Heh, as if you were the one in charge around here. Guys, arrest these two and get them out of my sight. I assume you're talking about Lauren as well. Wait, I had nothing to do with the murder. Is it like an obstruction of justice thing because he bought the house? The only person you should be arresting is Lance. Yes, he I feel like it's much more about the money than the boy. Dad! Well, you did the same to your girlfriend. Sorry, but you're not slipping away that easily, Mr. Ernest Amano. You tampered with the evidence so that you could cover for your son. What a great dad you are, willing to risk it all. Truly touching. Grr. By the way, I'm the one who says grr. It's my whole wolf thing. By the way, do you know why I'm really here? And how could I possibly know the answer to such an asinine question? You wound me. I came all this way from across the sea just to see you, you know. You came to see me? Here we go. What's that supposed to mean? I have a few things to ask you, Mr. Amano, about a case from 10 years ago. A case from 10 years ago? Oh, what's the name that you use here for that case? Shiner. It's known as the KG8 incident. Sweat, sweat, sweat. Big globby sweats. The KG8 incident. Oh, so you remember it. Good. Then you'll recall that the trigger in that case was the Amano Group scandal. Specifically, the charge of an internal smuggling ring. Dun dun! Smuggling. There's that word again. At the time, the person that was arrested as the ringleader was Mr. Amano's very own secretary, Mr. Colin Devore. Now that I didn't expect, because I really had zero idea what this guy's deal with and what his relationship to Mr. Amano was. Ah, father! Even though you pushed the crime onto your then secretary, Mr. Devore, I always suspected that you were involved with the smuggling ring, Mr. Amano. Mr. Devore was arrested in place of you, which is why he then broke out. Which is why when he broke out, you hid him from the police, right? You hid him in exchange for his silence on your little dirty secret. Now, please calm down. I honestly have no idea what you're talking about. Pretend to be ignorant all you want. We're taking you down to the precinct anyway for a nice long chat. Hold it. Maybe it's Phoenix. What the? Who the heck was that? Maybe it's Phoenix. It's not Phoenix. Oh. Huh. Well, this is an interesting turnabout of events. Well, this is all of these cases. Coming back around to meet each other. So this guy is clear. This prosecutor is also very interested in intervening and covering things up related to these cases as well. So we come back to many of the mysteries from our first case here, and of course many mysteries from our second case, but all to do with this KG8 case that I believe comes from the Von Karma files. But exactly how these guys are wrapped up in it is an interesting mystery. So I'll leave this episode here on this kind of, very, very fascinating loop around. And I'll see you in the next episode where we'll finish up this case and begin the next one. I'm so curious about where this is going now. But thank you very much for watching, and I will see you then. Bye-bye.